For my son's final assessment in making stuff at school, he needed to make 3 knobs for a cabinet. We're going to use a capstan lathe. We call them a capstan lathe in Australia and the UK. In America, they call it a turret lathe. We also have turret lathes in Australia and the UK, but they're a different animal. These are a wonderful machine that can be bought for virtually nothing. You'll see some on the screen here that have gone at auction for even below scrap prices. Turret lathes are used in production, but they can be used as a centre lathe. We can talk about that in another video, but I'm going to show in this video how we set up to run knobs. I'm going to run a full bar of knobs and we'll engrave them and sell them, but my son is doing this setup and he's designed the knob because obviously it's for his assessment. So I'm just going to help him with the setup of the machine. We run 5 machines at Neuroc Tools. We're pretty famous for what we do in terms of the tools, but also we make Radius Master belt grinders, which are the world's best belt grinders. Here you can see us machining castings, aluminium castings on a turret lathe. Turret lathes have normally 6 stations on the turret. Each of those stations can do up to 3 tasks at a time. The tool post can normally hold 4 tools, and you can have front and rear. And the rear tool post normally is just a parting tool, but you can have multiples on the rear as well. Some even have tool posts above the chuck as well. So very, very versatile machines and very easy to set up. And people just don't buy them because they look a bit scary, they're a bit intimidating, and they do take some specialised tooling, which isn't hard to do and hard to make. We're loading up the bar here to get started in our bar feeder. Not much room in my shop, so the bar feeder is a bit tight up the back there, but it's there and it works, so we're going to use it. As I say, we'll run a half bar of these knobs once he sets up. Alright, we're setting up a job on the capstan, and the job is to make some knobs for my son's HSC project, so my son will be setting it up just to show how easy it is. The first thing we've done is put the bar into the bar feed, and now he's setting the tension on the stop so that the stop goes to the right place. Now he'll just check that. So we'll disengage the chuck and see that the bar feeds. Pull back. So the bar's not feeding, so we need to look into that. You can see here in the bar feed it's not central, so I'll just fix it. Okay, so try again. Wind it out, show that the bar feeds. Yep, that's good. And then bring it into the stop, close the chuck, make sure it's at the right depth for the form tool, which we made as well. There we go. All right, so the next stop on the capstan is an easy one. And we're just going to bring it in and make sure that the center drill touches the bar, because this is going to be drilled and tapped. All right, done, good. Go to the next stop. Now, we're going to have to change this turret because the next station in this job will be to drill for the tapping drill. So we're going to remove the box tool that's there and put in just a drill chuck. Now, we didn't show it, but this is really quite easy. That little clamp nut there clamps on the shaft. All you have to do is loosen the clamp nut, give it a little tap, and take the tool out and replace it. Only takes a couple of seconds. In this case, yeah, we're putting in a drill chuck into which we'll fit a tapping drill for the thread size that we need. Do you know what thread size you need, mate?
No.
All right. Do you have the screws?
I don't know what screws we're using.
Well, we better make a decision. So while he's off finding the screws that he wants to use, a little bit of an explanation on the form tool. The form tool is cut on the laser from 6mm pre-hardened high-speed steel. It's kept cool with air during that cut, and it's not cut, it's engraved. We engrave it on a taper, so there's a relief angle. My son drew up the design, and we'll just see how that goes. Okay, so he's now put in the correct tapping drill, which he's worked out was, what was it?
The drill was 3.2.
Yeah, so you got a 3.2mm tapping drill and a 532 BSW, which just happens to be the screws that we have for knobs. There's also 4mm, but that's just what we've got. These two turret stations aren't going to be used. We could take them out I don't think we're going to bother though, because we don't have too many of these to do. That was only a simple, very, very simple and quick setup. So the next thing to do is to set the drill stops. Okay, so the first thing he's going to do is just drill free to the depth that he wants to go to. The part is 25 millimeters in length, so we can go 20 mil without any dramas. Obviously, the longer you go, the more wasted drilling space, but you want about 10 millimeters. Door thicknesses change. Okay. So what he'll do now is he'll set the depth stop, so turn off the lathe and wind it into the spot where it is, where you drilled to, and then adjust the depth spot until you can feel it on the capstan. Those little cordlesses are great for this. And he'll just wind till he feels it on the handle, until the stop hits. This isn't critical. You can obviously muck around with that and fine adjust, but in this instance, it's not actually matter. Most kind of times it doesn't matter. So wind that back and change over to the thread tap. Now, for this, we could power feed the thread tap or manually feed the thread tap. And I think with his experience, it'd be better to manually feed it, but we're still going to feed it under power, because why not? So I'll put the lathe into low, get a slow speed, and you're just going to go in until we feel like it's pretty good. I got scared there, did you see that? That was me. Now we want to wind back on the capstan handle until the tap disengages. Go too fast, you have to go in, do that slowly. Taps engaged, we have to find the exact spot where it disengaged, which is there, and then lock the capstan. You keep going. So come back in again. It's locked, go out until it disengages. There it is there, and then lock the capstan. Okay, that's good. Now, we have to set the stop. Just wind in the stop now until you feel it, and you'll feel it straight away because the capstan's locked, so it won't move. You just wind it to the stop. Easy peasy. And then we've got a starting point for our depth stop. And then tweak it as required. There it goes, it's moving the capstan now, so that's fine. Let's do a test. Pull it out, wind it out. Okay, good. And then we're going to wind it in and make sure it all works and disengages and the tap doesn't break. Wind it in hard, that's it. There it is there. Reverse it. And how much did it go in? Probably 10 or 12 mil, which is plenty. Good. Happy days. So that stop's now done. These two stops we're not going to worry about because we're not going to use them. Okay, so we've played with the form tool. And again, this is just the preliminary setup. So all we need to do now is set our rear stop to get the correct dimension, which it's at now. So he's got that all round all the way in, and we're going to adjust that rear stop all the way to the stop.
By hand?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Easy as. Different machines will have different stops, but this one's just got like a nice friction knob thing. That'll do. And then we'll part off. This is the first test of the system. So that's the first one off. We're going to learn a lot from it, and we will. Shape's pretty good. We could take a bit off the form tool off that side and change the position of the parting tool, but actually these are going to get reworked because this is having something totally different on the front. So that's actually not worth the waste of time, but not bad for the first tool, off tool. All right, let's go. So this is the first cycle run through. And see how it looks. Just drilling to the stop that he set previously. He's going to change down the gear, which is fine. On brass you could tap under full speed, but it's the first time we've cycled. Bring it across all the way off. That's it. So we'll go slow just to make sure everything's all right. The tap will still break if something goes wrong, but it's just par for the course. So here we go. It's engaged. Disengage. Yep. Throw it in reverse. Throw it in. Don't worry. Doesn't care. There you go. That looks pretty good. Just going to spin it out the way. To this next position. Okay. Ready to go again. Just throw it over. Brush. See a tool height issue there. Mind you, that's a big cut, huge cut. Alright, so lessons learned. Everything there worked pretty good. Fuck, she's a little warm. Everything there worked pretty good. Pretty nice knob. The outside, we need to adjust that stop in a little bit because we're getting a little step there, which is, we definitely don't want that. Doesn't matter if the tool doesn't actually cut, the form tool doesn't cut that. And that may change this as well. Okay, here we go. And we'll cycle through it again, make sure it's all going to work for him. Okay, so we're now getting a good finish on everything. That's good. All right, All right, so we've just been through the process of tweaking all of those settings, and we've got just checking the speeds and so forth. We've managed to get a nicer finish on the form tool straight off the machine, which we can hit that with a bit of Scotch Brite. That'll clean up really nice. We've put a chamfer on the inside there, on the inside of the tapped hole. We did that by setting the depth stop on the centre drill, so it just goes in until we get a nice chamfer. I've increased the tapping length on the tapped hole, so we've got a bit more there. We're not worried about the face at all because these are going to get different faces on them for our engraving. So yeah, there we go. That's his knobs that he's designed it, set the lathe up, and now he's got to make 3 the same. Do you reckon he can manage it?
Yeah.
He's going to finish off here by just facing them off on the centre lathe and recessing them a little bit. We could always do this on the capstan as well, and in fact when we do our production run with the rest of the knobs we will. So if you want to know more about turret and capstan lathes, join the turret and capstan lathe Herberts, Wards and Hardingers and so forth on Facebook and ask any questions you got there. If you want to know more about Neroc tools, just have a look at our website, Neroc Tools and Radius Master Belt Grinders, www.radiusmaster. Oh, links will be down the bottom. God, thanks for staying this long. I just showing you stuff now, tool porn. It is what it is. Thank you guys, and we appreciate your involvement in the comments below.